Back again. I had an electrical problem with the C140 here. I was going to the gym one evening a month and a half ago. Noticed the heat was not on, and when I tried to adjust it, wasn't coming on at all. So I was like, oh well. So I got onto the gym, did my workout, and came back out, started it. It ran for about a second, turned right back off. So luckily, one of the guys that stayed there for a few minutes extra gave me a ride home. I came back in my Jeep because I couldn't leave it alone. Stopped thinking about it, and I Googled and found out that it could be fuse number 20 right here, which is a 10 amp fuse. Came back, checked it. Sure enough, it was blown. Replaced it. Boom, cranked right back up. I said, heck yeah. So I went back home, called another buddy. He drove me back out there. And when I went to crank it the first time, it blew another 10 amp. So I put a 20 amp in there just to get it to crank and drove it home. I only lived 3 miles from the gym. Got it home. Excuse me. I just replaced the battery. I put a battery in there a little over a year ago, and unfortunately, I got to where I wasn't driving this as much as I wanted to, and the battery developed a bad cell, so I replaced it under warranty. And I don't know. I don't think it had anything to do with any of this, but other than maybe finally making the problem show itself. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. So I came back, started unplugging things one by one. AC compressor down there, relay fans, both of those plugs. That's one right there, and blower motor, and the regulator over there. And I was like, what the heck? So I finally posted on Ben's World, which is a very great place. I enjoy getting information from there. They've helped me with a lot of things on here. And they kept talking about a gaseous pollutant sensor. But for some reason, I was misreading things, thinking that that was on the European cars. And so I was at my wit's end because I'd unplugged everything and was thinking, okay, it's going to be the control unit there. And aftermarket radio that was in there prior to my ownership. And I also found where the previous owner had wired in a cigarette lighter to charge things, and ended up screwing up the glove box, which I don't know if you can see in there, sorry. But anyway, there's a hole that they cut in the glove box, or not the glove box, the ashtray, to get those charging cables through, which neither one of them really applied to anything I have now. And I don't like that radio either. It will eventually be replaced. It's just junk. So then one of the guys there on Ben's World mentioned the pollutant sensors. I was like, well, let me go check. And forgive the leaves. I'm going to vacuum it all out before I put it all back together. And I was thinking it was under there. However, after I got this part back off, I noticed, sorry, my garage is a little tight. Oh, sorry. Recycling, sorry. When I unplugged this plug here, I noticed that. And so I'm thinking that that's where the pollutant sensor is in there. I'm going to try not to remove that because there's like, oops, there's a little thing. Anyway, on the other side of this, there's a bunch of little Torx head screws to take it off. I'm going to try to get that fixed. Hopefully the sensor itself is not bad. Hopefully it's just the wiring. Won't know until I repair the wiring. I did find one online. It was like $500 something just for that little sensor. So if I can get away with just the wiring, I'll feel a lot better about myself. So yeah, so there we go. So that's the next installment of working on this thing. Love driving it. Just seems like there's always something going on. Maybe eventually I'll be able to start actually doing stuff I want to it instead of just maintaining it. And yes, as you saw, I did leave the mechanical fan off, which has been fine so far. I gotta put the shield back on that goes down there. Fan, sorry, it's like I said, tight garage is still over there. Has some cracks in it. That's the main reason I don't really use it. I probably will eventually get something to replace it. I just don't know if I want to do electric fan or some other type of fan that I can fit that hydraulic clutch on. But there you go. So once I get this repaired, I'll come back, and because once I unplugged it, I turned it back on and it did not blow the number 20 fuse. So it's got to be that. So I'm going to plug everything else back in and start working on that guy right there. Unfortunately, it's going to be difficult because I'm just going to stand here because I don't really want to undo this vacuum connection. But yep, I will return and let you guys know if I had to replace the sensor or if I was able to just repair those nasty wires there. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I don't claim to know everything. Still learning a whole lot myself. But I'm enjoying this car and working on it. Just don't enjoy paying for it. I'll take care. Bye.